to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Broken paths don't mean you're lost. Shayna shows to bear through the cost. Healing hearts one smile at a time. With Shayna, you'll shine forever and feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with the heart.
Hey, biohacking. What is it? Why should you do it? How could it possibly help you feel like your much younger self? What if you could feel the way you used to? More energy, less pain, less reliance on meds. And what if that can help you laugh more, smile more, and bring you more joy? Stay tuned. We're going to talk all about that today. I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, a nationally board certified nurse practitioner and registered nurse for well over 30 years, who empowers mostly the ladies, autoimmune warriors, cancer warriors, and medical mysteries to get and feel better, even while reducing or often eliminating your reliance on medications. Before we get started, I want to share with you this is the last chance for you to catch our replay. If you missed our really big live Reclaim Your Life Power Hour Super Workshop just a few days ago, you can catch the replay at absolutely no cost until 11:59 EST today. Woo, 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 woo. And then it's going away and will only be available to those in our Your Wellness Journey 90-day program and the paid membership. So please, there'll be a link down below. Click it, watch the replay tonight before it disappears forever. It was an awesome turnout. I want to thank each and every one of you that registered, showed up, participated full out. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo. All right. Now, here's some images of the workshop. It was live, it was fun, it was interactive. A lot of people got the Zoom access, and we were talking. People were on there because some were exhausted, in pain, suffering from symptoms, wanted to feel like their much younger self. And Isabel said she was checking in from Long Island, New York. Then we have some other images. Sherry, fellow NP, said, I've tried this before and I like her input. Thank you, Sherry. Then we raffled off some cool prizes on the randomizer, and all the VIPs that were on the Zoom had their name entered and they had to be there to win it. We spun it and raffled off some really cool prizes. Congratulations to all the people that won really cool perks. They are We are on the way to you right now. Now, because there is so much bad news in this world all the time, violence, this, that, the other thing, I always try to share the good news. Thanks to you, our YouTube channel is almost at 250,000 views. Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're wherever you're tuning in from, please click that like, follow, comment, share button. If you're on YouTube, click that subscribe button. If you're not, go to the channel, Shane and Melissa, and click that subscribe. It's absolutely free, but it'll give you notifications of new clips. Other news, the nurses strike. I love my fellow New York nurses. I am so representing you today. I was asked to walk across that picket line and take your position, but I couldn't do it because I want you to have more safety, better ratios. I want you to be able to keep your health care and benefits and your pensions. So the good news here is that Mount Sinai and Montefiore both returned to work, I believe, with a 3-year contract. And although New York Presbyterian is still under strike, hopefully soon you won't be. So I want to say, if you're not having a true medical emergency, please stay away from New York Presbyterian because they are currently on strike. But of course, if it's a true emergency, you go to the nearest emergency room. I also want to give special shout out to fellow nurse practitioner Lacey. Thank you for your very kind 5-star review where she said, I'm truly passionate. She learned a lot a lot about my functional medicine program. Everything was then explained in a way that made sense and felt achievable. Since implementing her advice and recommendations, I feel much better overall, more confidence in how I care for myself. I'm so grateful for her guidance. Highly recommend her to anyone wanting to take a more proactive, informed approach to your healthcare. Thank you, Lacey, for that very kind 5-star review. I also want to share with you that I was nominated for NP of the Year. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was NP of the Year, Long Island and New York State. And I was just nominated for the Visionary Award, which is a very forward thinker that's courageous, authentic, committed to growth and transformations. So I want to thank you that those that nominated me. A lot of my patients and clients do not know of these awards. Wait, can we go back one? Okay. A lot of my patients and clients do not know of these awards or how to nominate me. So if you feel that I'm worthy of these awards, there are stiff competitions. Please let me know, and I will tell you how to submit your a nomination letter as well to help secure the awards. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Because my clients are always asking me, like, I wish I could nominate you for award, but they don't know how. So if you'd like to, just reach out. I'll be glad to share it with you. Stay tuned. At the end, we're gonna give you a list of upcoming dates and times of things to come. And then this past week was a very busy week. I was also on this expert panel of powerful women. So thank you, Power, and to the beautiful Sachem Library for hosting this event. Here is our expert panel of speakers. Congratulations to each and every one of you powerful ladies. And then I also got to see my beautiful book on the shelves of the library, Overcoming Life Obstacles, #1 international bestseller. I am so proud of that book. If you don't have a copy, you can get it on my website, get it on Amazon. Then we also had another Galentine's Day event this week where we were building dream boards because you have to envision where you're going to be and then take the action steps needed to get there. I also did book signings. This was really cute. These two little girls were adorable. They're like, oh, she's the author. They look at the picture and they see me in the book. They're like, oh, that's you. It was so cute. I hope I inspired the next generation to also be authors. I have a feeling they're going to write books very soon. And then just yesterday, I had a birthday. I am 21 again and again, okay, forever. But I want to let you guys know, especially my fellow nurses, nurse practitioners, and caregivers, we often don't take time for ourselves, and self care is so important. It is not selfish. You are worthy. You are deserving. So I decided, out of all the years I did nursing, over 30, I always worked my birthday, early morning till late at night. I was too tired to even celebrate it. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So this year, I decided to take it a little easier, have some breakfast in bed, my favorite dinner, my favorite dessert. And since I took it easy, I only accomplished about what the average person does in a day instead of 3 times. So I had these royal red shrimps flown in fresh from the Florida Keys. I was so grateful for them. It's the little things in life. So I want to thank you. Oh, I want to thank some of you for these awesome birthday gifts. I love these roses. I am learning to stop and smell the roses, okay? And you should too. Mm-mm-mm. And shout out to Liz, the founder of Kudos Beautiful Magazine, for sending me this. Now, this is I only changed my name to Shayna about 5 or 6 years ago. So I had my birthday cake this year that said Shayna, and this is my first monogram S item that I have. So thank you, Liz, for this. She wants to give it to me to hold my laptop for all the speaking engagements I do. And look, I have a couple little totes in there for my makeup and my toiletries when I travel. And it came with a beautiful handle and a beautiful package. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want you to know it's not all roses, okay? um I have my ups and downs. Okay, I did this fundraiser a couple of days ago for Mick, you got this. I'm wearing your little tags right now. Mick is going through cancer, but look, I bought all these raffle tickets, right? I was a loser. So not everything we do is win. When you see my positive here and all my success, there's a lot of failures too. Okay, I just want to tell you that. So moving right along, my body age, I am well past mid 50. Okay, I'm not going to tell you my exact age, but I have this device that calculates your body age. It takes into account your visceral fat, your muscle mass, your BMI, your height, your weight, and it spits out a body age. Now, mind you, I'm well past mid 50. My body age is in the 30s. It's in the late 30s, but it's in the 30s. Okay. So that's like 16 years or so less than my chronological age. And it has been going down. I think it only went up, what is that, 7 years since 2015, in 11 years. In the past 11 years, my body age only went up 7 years. But I show you this not to brag or boast, but there's things I am doing to biohack my my body back to my much younger self. And I want to share this with you. I first learned about the biohacking from my grandma in the 70s, and I'm going to share it with you. But I also want to tell you thank you for the birthday wishes. As of yesterday morning, I had well over 200. And then over the past several hours, I had less than 200. And 24 hours later, now I have even less. So Facebook robbed me of a lot of my birthday wishes because I guess I'm in jail from getting too many interactions on my birthday. So I want to say, please subscribe. Follow me everywhere. Make sure you go to the website, worldwellnessexpert.com, and you sign up to get the newsletters. Can we lower that music? Okay. In case you can't see me here anymore. So, and it's also when I mention words like this that are, to get you better, there's Facebook jail. So at times I might not be able to comment back, but each and every birthday wish that I got, I dropped a heart or a comment. If I saw it, if I didn't, I apologize. Please drop it again and I'll give you a special thank you. All right, moving right along. I also want to get to the biohacking. John McGill, very big shout out to you in Australia. He just gave me this 5-star review today that I've helped him immensely get over his obstacle. And I've helped thousands of people. So thank you. John is a fellow Harley lover. He's got his Harley Davidsons and goes traveling all around Australia. So I want you to know I don't just help people in New York, in other states, and in other countries as well. Moving right along. Thank you. Another big shout out. Krista just gave me a nice 5-star review. She said working with me is great. She is in another state. I've helped her to understand her son's lab tests and given her practical tools that she can use, the knowledge that she needed, and I was consistently following up with her. So I want you to know I help people in other states, and sometimes I do the video consultations with the caregiver about the client, like her little son. He's not going to get on and take my recommendations, right? So I can do video consultations with the caregiver if it's you for your elderly mom or your child or whatnot. Okay, another big shout out, Tamara. Woohoo! How about He was one of my clients since the 90s. And then, I don't know, moved away like a decade ago. We lost touch. We just reconnected this week. And she dumped on Your Wellness Journey 90-day program. Because a lot of people ask me, like, hey, how much for a consult? And I'm like, listen, your doctors couldn't make you better in 7 years, no matter how much of a miracle worker I am. One consult is not enough. So I have an extensive 90-day program where I don't have to talk quick and I lead them step by step. Takes out all the overwhelm, the too much information, the misinformation, only gives them what they need. So, congratulations, Tamara, for jumping on board. She was down in sunny Florida, where I believe yesterday it was in the 70s. Okay, upcoming events. I want you to know we do the Shayna Show live each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. EST, right here. We stream it to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. The first Wednesday of the month, it's at 1 p.m. Thursday, these are important dates. I got a lot of events coming up. I promise this year I'm going to do a lot less than I did last year for my own sanity. So, Thursday, March 12th, from 12 to 3 online is Kudos Caregiver. She's going to have the experts that are going to teach the caregivers tips and tools they need to save time, save money, and de stress themselves. So, that event is geared for caregivers. So, if you're taking care of your children, your significant other, your parents, you want to get on that. Stay tuned. Make sure you get our newsletters at worldwellnessexpert.com. Sign up to get them. April 14th, I'm doing a stress management for the ladies at 8:30 a.m. in Lake Grove. Thanks to our sponsors, there is no cost for that event. If you'd like to be notified of any of these events, like I said, make sure you get our newsletter by going to worldwellnessexpert.com and signing up for them, or drop down below the date of the event you want, and I'll get you the details. Then we have April 24th. This is a huge event for me. There will be at least 250 nurse practitioners, but we're hoping for closer to the max by the fire marshal, 400, that I will be teaching them autoimmune disorders, all about it. There are going to be some other expert speakers as well. It's open up to nurse practitioners and non-nurse practitioners and anyone that like to attend. This tickets for that are $100 to $250, depending on if you're a healthcare professional or not, a member or not, and if you get early bird special or not. That will be in Woodbury at a beautiful facility. I would like to see it max out at the 400. I know we could do that because we have over 1,000 nurse practitioners, I believe, just in our region here. And then April 26th, there is a few tickets left at my table for an awesome comedy show fundraiser for a great cause. All right, moving right along. Da, da, da. Today, we're going to talk all about biohacking basics. What is it? My grandma raised me in the 70s with the powers of the plants. Now, these biohacking basics, I'm going to give you a quick lesson on it. It's not going to be everything you need, but it's going to give you a very good start. Biohacking basics, I was learning this before the term was ever around. My grandma was talking to me about root cause medicine and naturopathy since she raised me in the 1970s, before there ever was a school of functional medicine. So you see, that's my grandma there on the lower left. That's me in about 1992, 1993, when I was graduating RN school. And she raised me in the 70s with naturopathy. I would watch her eat a banana every day for the potassium and magnesium, so she did not need a blood pressure pill or a pill to control her fast arrhythmia. I also learned from grandma a few other things. She helped me use food as medicine, and I've been learning it ever since the 70s, and naturopathy and holistic. And then, of course, I went on for 5 college degrees, 4 nursing licenses, 30 plus years of experience later. But I also show you that picture for a few reasons. One is the doctors gave up hope on my grandma ever walking again. And as a brand new, ready to graduate nursing school, I gave her the belief that we were going to walk again. And then we took consistent action steps and we walked again. The moral of the story is, even if your doctors gave up hope on you or your specialists, there are other ways. And I have proven them wrong multiple times. Even with myself, when I had autoimmune and heart failure, the doctors said, listen, 96 to 98% of people, we don't know the cause of the heart failure, they don't get better. I proved them wrong. So I can help you do that too. And I also show you this picture of grandma because you see her there standing again, independently, no cane, no walker, after the doctors told her she wouldn't do it. But also, all of her brothers and sisters, see all those little people right there? That's depicting her brothers and sisters. All of them had diabetes, but grandma learned how to biohack and take back the power. Just because you have a gene for something does not mean you're going to end up with that problem. all of her brothers and sisters had diabetes. We decided to biohack her body. And even though she had the gene for diabetes, it was never expressed. So, what we do with our bodies, what we put in and on our bodies, can help us either suppress familial genes for things like diabetes and cancers or help them express. So, like if you have lung cancer in your family and you smoke, you're going to better your odds of getting it. If you don't smoke, you're going to better your odds of not getting it. So, those are different ways. There's different ways you can biohack. You can biohack by what you put on your body, what you put in your body, and how you attack root causes and activate genes. And I'm going to get into that. Now, biohack is like this. If you look at the term bio is like your own biology, right? The science of your body. And hack is like if somebody hijacks a plane, they take control over it. So biohacking is simply you taking control over your own biology and your own genes to decide if a gene is going to be expressed for, say, diabetes or suppressed. And I first learned this from my grandma. Now, if you look at this next photo here, I did this talk a couple of weeks ago. It was an auditorium that held 200 people in Nassau County, Long Island. And I said, anybody out there, please raise your hand if you or anybody you ever knew was cured of their chronic illness with a medication. I looked around. Not one hand went up, right? Think about it. Do you know of anybody in this entire world who was cured of their chronic illness from a medication? So that's an eye opener. Medications are good to treat some symptoms, but they do not necessarily attack the underlying root cause. And that's what I help you do. When you look at this next photo here, you see the roof leak. It's like this. If you ever had a roof leak, right? And you put a bucket under it. That's a quick fix, right? It's like if you have a headache or pain and you pop a ibuprofen, right? That's a quick fix, good for now, cheap, but it's not getting to the cause of the problem, right? So if you take a ibuprofen for your pain, it's not getting to the cause. So it numbs it for a little bit, but then the pain comes back and then the pain gets worse. And then it might spread to a different body part because that medicine is not attacking the root cause. That bucket under the roof leak is the same way. Now, we have to realize I'm not opposed to medicines because I can prescribe them. But here we often prescribe them too quickly instead of attacking the root cause. What if you, instead of that roof leak, instead of putting that bucket underneath it, what if you had the expert with the tools to get to the root cause of the problem and stop the problem from progressing? So you didn't need electrical and mold redemptions and a bigger bucket, right? That would save you tons of time and tons of money. And that's what I want to be for you, the expert, and empower you with the tools you need to get to the root cause of the problem, because that's going to save you tons of time, tons of money, and tons of aggravation. So let's dive right into these root causes. Now, here's some of the root causes, and there's lots of root causes that I help you attack. Now, these root causes are things that modern medicine is never addressing. There is not a prescription pill I know of that is designed to attack one of these root causes. And I'm going to go into each one of these just a little bit deeper, but here's some of the main root causes that lead to dis-ease and disorder. We have free radicals, oxidative stress, cellular inflammation, mitochondria in our cells malfunctioning, getting destroyed. We have toxin accumulation causing toxicity. We have gut issues. Some people believe in that leaky gut theory, which causes more malabsorption. We have genes that genetic tendencies based on our family history, and we have genetic mutations that can cause things like cancers. We have triggers in the environment. It could be a psychological trigger. It could be something that you're eating or you're drinking that are triggering your problems. And we have depletions in certain things. Our body could be depleted in antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, mitochondria, the garbage men called sirtuins, and we could even be depleted in collagen oftentimes, and even cholesterol, vitamin D, methylated Bs, and so much more. Now, look at this right here. These are free radicals. Now, I'm not going to give you an entire science lesson, but just to open your eyes a little bit. These free radicals come from all of these different sources and more. So say you don't smoke cigarettes, you can avoid some of them, but some you can't avoid. You have planes, trains, automobiles. You go to the doctor, you get an x-ray, then you get a mammography, which yes, it is radiation. Although it's a low dose, It can save your life or give you more radiation. We have free radicals from all these sources: planes, trains, automobiles. When you fly in a plane, that's more radiation. When you go through the body scanner at the airport, when you use your cell phone. And some of this we can avoid, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But now, check this out. Okay, these free radicals, they cause something called oxidative stress. You don't need to know all about that, but that is not good. That's what causes cellular inflammation. Inflammation is never good, right? You get an inflamed knee, it hurts. An inflamed elbow, it hurts. So this inflammation is never good. And this oxidative stress is linked to over 100 leading diseases and disorders, and 10 of the leading cause of death. If you look right here, this oxidative stress is linked to 9 of the top 10 leading causes of death in the US, including heart disease, cancers, the COVID virus, strokes, lung issues, pneumonias, diabetes, Alzheimer's, liver failure, kidney failure, and so much more. Okay, next. These free radicals, this oxidative stress, can accumulate in any of your organs. And depending on which organ it accumulates more, and your family history and your triggers, you can end up with that problem. Here is just some of over 100 problems this oxidative stress, aka cellular inflammation, is linked to. Now you have to memorize this, but I'm just showing you that it's linked to a lot of diseases and disorders, including 9 of the top 10 leading causes of death. Okay, now check this out. Here is some common autoimmune disorders. And these autoimmune disorders are linked to oxidative stress. So, asthma, allergies, the hypersensitive reactions like eczema, asthma, allergies, the intestinal issues like Crohn's, IBS, celiac, ulcerative colitis, Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, MS, skin disorders like eczema, psoriasis, certain diabetes, rheumatoid, psoriatic arthritis. These disorders are all autoimmune and they're all linked to oxidative stress. However, the prescription medications was never meant to target this oxidative stress that causes cellular inflammation. Okay, this is what it does to an apple. You ever cut an apple in half and it browns on the inside? That's oxidative stress. That's the oxygen, so to speak, causing premature aging. And that's what it does to our cells and our body. And just to give you a long lesson short, if I'm out of a cup of sugar, right, and I go to my neighbor, it's like the dominoes game. I go to my neighbor and I say, hey, listen, I need a cup of sugar. They give me their last cup. Now they're out of a cup of sugar and they have to go to their neighbor and borrow their last cup, who goes to their neighbor. So one person that's out of that one cube of sugar can cause havoc in the entire neighborhood, or all the dominoes to fall over. So one free radical can cause millions of free radicals. Okay, now an antioxidant fights this oxidative stress, right? Antioxidants are like blueberries, oranges, vitamin C's. Those antioxidants fight the oxidative stress to neutralize it. However, a lot of those antioxidants are either synthetic, like vitamin C, or they have insecticides, pesticides. You freeze them, you cook them, you microwave them, you're getting rid of the nutrients, then they have to go past your stomach acids, and you get even less absorption. So they're not that effective. But our own bodies used to make these super potent antioxidants. And check this out, an antioxidant your body makes is 1,000,000 times more potent than an antioxidant you can take by mouth. You see, an antioxidant your body makes, one of those good soldiers, antioxidants, can neutralize up to 1,000,000 of those bad free radicals. So, an antioxidant you take, like a vitamin C or a blueberry, one of those antioxidant good soldiers can only neutralize one of the oxidative stress bad soldiers 1 to 1. When you take them by mouth, it's 1 to 1 ratio. But when your body makes the super potent antioxidants, one of those good soldiers can neutralize up to 1,000,000 of those bad free radicals. For that reason, I would rather rev up my own body's endogenous antioxidants. I would rather make them than take them. Now, I'm going quick and I can't give you the full science here because this is a short episode. But I just hope that helps you understand the importance of, instead of 1 to 1 ratio, when you take them, 1 to 1,000,000, when your body makes things endogenously. And how do we do this? Well, there's different herbs and different proportions that we can take that will actually activate our genes. Now, if you go back one slide, let me go back one picture for a second. You see that super highway there? Our bodies have these genetic pathways that go throughout all our organs and our entire body, almost like blood vessels. And different genes have different highways that things work on. And with different herbs and different proportions taken simultaneously, we can actually stimulate or activate that gene to turn on that genetic light switch so that the role of that gene starts producing what it used to, like these super potent antioxidants for that one good antioxidant neutralizing up to 1 million bad free radicals. Okay, now then let's move on to mitochondria in our cells. Okay, one more. Okay, and let's go one more. So we have these mitochondria in our cells, and they are like the energy stations of the cells, and they're in each and every cell throughout all the organs, and they are required for the cells to live. Without the energy from these mitochondria, the cells have to die. And a lot of people that had the protection or the infection had their mitochondria attacked. Now, moving right along, I'm not going to get into this too far, but the virus was going into the mitochondria, the cells replicating as many copies as it could, destroying the mitochondria, moving over to the next one, and then destroying all the mitochondria in the cell. And then that cell had to die. And long story short, we're not going to get too far into this, but the virus was made to attack the mitochondria, and in essence, when the last one in the cell dies, the cell has to die. Out of all the organs in the body, the heart has the most of these mitochondria, probably because it requires energy 24/7 to beat. And that's why a lot of people are ending up with heart issues. This is my own theory. I didn't hear it from anybody else or copy anyone else, but it makes sense. When you have time, I will discuss more of that in more depth. Now, check out this photo of the flashlight here. Mitochondria in our cells are like this. They're like the batteries in your flashlight, your phone, your laptop, and your car. We know when our battery power is low, they don't function so well. The flashlight's dim, the phone doesn't work all the options, and your car might not even start. So these mitochondria are the energy stations in our cells, and they're required for the cells to live. And we know when the cells don't get enough energy, or we don't get enough energy, we can't work efficiently and proficiently and get our job done in a right amount of time. Now, there's ways in our body when these mitochondria die off from the virus or the vaccine, there's ways in our body we can rev up production of our own mitochondria. Like I was just saying with antioxidants, it's more powerful when we make your own body produce more of its own than trying to get it from an external source. Same with mitochondria. There's ways in your body, there's a certain genetic pathway that we can actually activate and stimulate so that your body will make more of those mitochondria that are required for your cells to live. And this seemed to be such a game changer for those that were especially affected from the pandemic, to have your body make more mitochondria for more cellular energy for the cells to live. And how did we do that? Again, there's certain herbs in exact proportions taken simultaneously in capsules, caplets, or liquids that, when taken in a certain proportion ratio, can actually activate that genetic highway, stimulate that gene to make your body make more mitochondria required for the cells to live. Now, then, another root cause is the toxicity building up in our bodies, right? Next, the toxicity is building up in our bodies because we are bombarded by way too many toxins. We have planes, trains, automobiles, plastics galore, insecticides, pesticides, and so much more, and too many protections and appeal and all this other stuff. These toxins are accumulating quicker than we can ever get rid of them. So they're stacking up. And when the toxins accumulate, it causes toxicity, which is poison. That is never good. And look, here's some of the examples, right? We get aluminum, heavy metals, mercuries, plastics. All right, and let's keep going. Now, we have these, okay, that's good. We have these little sirtuins. They're like garbage men in our body, and like Pac-Man. And they gobble up all the garbage. What's called microphage and autophage, the garbage. And they get tired because they're like our men in real life, they're sick of taking out the garbage all the time, right? So it's stacking up, it's piling up. And when the toxins accumulate, they cause toxicity, and then we can't absorb the good nutrients. But we can actually activate a certain genetic pathway in your body to stimulate those sirtuins, those lazy garbage men, to wake up and start taking out the garbage again and detoxifying the cells. And then after they detoxify the cells and take out the toxins to reduce toxicity, then you have room in the cells to absorb the good nutrients that you need. Now, let's look at this. Yeah. Now, so again, these we have genes throughout our body. And just to let you guys know, this is not new technology. I was doing pharmacogenetic testing well over a decade ago. I remember, shout out to Bob from Angela's house. I educated the parents and I was swabbing the cheeks of the little kids with special abilities to do genetic testing on them to see which pathways they metabolize super slow and super fast on so that we could adjust their meds accordingly. Now, I was doing that over a decade ago. So this technology is not new. So we have these highways in our body, and each highway, it's like a different gene is responsible, and different genes do different jobs. Certain genes, we can activate and stimulate them to make more super potent antioxidants for that 1 to 1 million ratio, where one antioxidant neutralizes 1 million of the free radicals that causes cellular inflammation. We can activate a different genetic highway, a different genetic light switch to turn on and make your body make more mitochondria required for the cells to live, to give them more ATP, cellular energy required for the cells to live. And then we can activate a different genetic highway or turn on a different genetic light switch so that your body wakes up those lazy sirtuins, aka garbage men, so they can detoxify the cells. Now, we do this different ways. And when we activate different genes, we can rev up your super potent antioxidants, things like glutathione, SOD. Now, you might have heard of glutathione, right? And people try to give an IV. Well, if you get it in an IV once a month, the IV glutathione, first of all, it's going through plastic tubing. Second of all, it only lasts 2 minutes when you get it through an IV, okay? So you're getting effects for 2 minutes and then it's gone. So, and then people try to drink liquid glutathione, but again, it's only lasting for a few minutes. They're getting GI upset, but that's also synthetic. But this way, you're actually activating your own body to produce its own glutathione, which is so much, anything your body produces is so much more super potent. So, we're activating these different genetic pathways to rev up your body's own endogenous antioxidants like glutathione, like superoxidized dismutase. And what that does is that reduces oxidative stress, aka cellular inflammation that's linked to 100 diseases and disorders and 9 of the top 10 leading causes of death. When we activate these genetic highways, we make your body make more mitochondria required for the cells to live. And when we activate these genetic highways, we wake up your lazy sirtuins to detoxify the cells before it becomes toxic and so that you can absorb more nutrients. And that's it in a nutshell. That's just some of the ways that I biohack. And I hope to enlighten you just a little bit to know what biohacking is. And it's important, not just simple supplementation, but this gene activation, because it's literally 1 million times more potent than you taking, say, vitamin C. So supplements are good, but they are not as potent as the antioxidant effects of you activating your genes and genetic highways. So you can do both together. So I want to say to you, if you haven't already, watch the replay, do it because it's disappearing at 11:59 p.m. EST tonight. The beauty about the replay, you can stop it, pause it, take notes, do the calls to action. So I hope you enjoyed. I want to give a shout out. Thank you to the followers, the likers, subscribers. Please drop your likes, comments, follows, hearts down below. It costs you nothing, but it opens up our message for more people to see it at absolutely no cost to you. I want to give a very special shout out to a really awesome friend, Mick, Cancer Warrior. You got this. You are worthy. You are deserving. You have to advocate for yourself. You have to believe to achieve. It is possible. Um, Knowledge is power. So, go to the doctors, hear all about this as well, put all of it together and do what works best for you. I encourage you guys to watch the replay. There's going to be a link down here where you can click it and access the replay before it disappears at 11:59 tonight. It's Reclaim Your Life, live power hour that you can do from the comfort of your couch. That is the last chance to get it. And I want to thank all those that jumped on board for your wellness journey, 90-day program and beyond. If you're considering it, but you don't know what it's about, click that Reclaim replay, and on there, there'll be a little link where you can get a complimentary 15-minute discovery call or Zoom to ask me questions about the 90-day program to see if it's a good fit for you. There is absolutely no pressure. If you are not a good fit, I'm going to tell you, listen, this program's not for you. Okay. We don't need or want everybody in the program. It's got to be a good fit for both of us. So I want to say, go to get that replay. On the replay, there'll be a button where you can level up to the VIP, where you get the workbook and the mini consult and part two. And there'll also be a button where you can get a complimentary consultation, no pressure, with me on a phone or a Zoom to see if we're a good fit for the 90-day. If not, I'll let you know and I'll steer you in a direction that is most suitable for you. So that's all I want to say. Thank you for tuning in. Be well, biohack. Hello. Woo, 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 woo. You got this, Vic.